In here, and I decided it's been a while since I made a video, so I'm gonna make a video. And today's gonna be a review video. I know there's a lot of reviewers on YouTube, and I really like a lot of reviewers. I like Angry Joe, Jeremy Johns, Spill. Oh wait, no, that doesn't exist anymore. Fuck Hollywood.com. Anyway, but I love reviewing reviews of stuff, and I thought, maybe I should bring my own opinion of things. Because if somebody, watching this cares about a guy that is made famous for eating food, like hot fries, would like an opinion. I don't know. But anyway, I've been on a Resident Evil kick. I love Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 was actually the first, violent video game I ever saw. And I think that's the game that fucked me up mentally. Because before I was playing Super Mario Brothers, and lovely little doo-doo. But then this, you're shooting a barrel and zombies' heads and brains and shit are coming off everywhere. And they had this guy Nemesis that's penetrating people's faces with his hand dick. It was really crazy, and I was just like, oh my god, this shit's awesome. Fuck you, Mario. So recently, I realized that, holy shit, I sucked at playing Resident Evil games when I was younger. So I decided I'm going to beat a lot of Resident Evil games from my childhood. So I beat 2, 1, Survivor, Code Veronica, Gaiden. I even played that shitty Game Boy game, but it was okay. I liked it. And Outbreak File 2, which I did not like at all. But that's another video. Woo! But what I recently played is this game. It's Resident Evil Dead Aim. Now, Dead Aim, for those that you don't know, is the 4th entry in the Gun Survivor series. Now, the Gun Survivor series is pretty much Capcom saying, hey, House of the Dead's fucking cool. We should have a first-person shooter that's like that. So they made Resident Evil Gun Survivor, which was a pretty stellar arcade game, but they ported it into America by just saying Gun Survivor, and a lot of people hated it. I, in fact, played it, and it's not that bad. I think the first-person aspects are really cool, and although it has the graphics of Resident Evil 1 and the voice acting as well, I think it's a pretty decent game. That's just my opinion. Well, that's what this review is, all my fucking opinion anyway. But then they made a sequel, which was purely arcade, Resident Evil Gun Survivor 2, which is an arcade shooter based on Resident Evil Code Veronica. But then they ported that, but that I don't think they got wide distribution, because I never saw it in any retail. It's probably, I think, only available in Japan, but, some people get their hands on it via imports. And anyway, the third Gun Survivor has nothing to do with Resident Evil. It has, it's based off Dino Crisis, which is Dino Stalker. And I played it. It was a really fun game, but it was really weird because the story was a guy from World War II getting transported into the future, yet it's the past, and he fights dinosaurs with this futuristic chick. It's really weird. Anyway, so this is the 4th one. And this has been a lot of years since this. I believe this came out in 2002, because that's what the game says in the thing, but I'm not sure. And this is actually a okay game. I really did not. Well, let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the story a little bit. So the story is about this guy that looks like Paul Walker. His name's Bruce McGavin. Bruce McGavin. Really cool. And this Asian chick named the most racist Chinese name I ever heard, Cheng Long or Yang Fang or some shit. I didn't pay attention. Anyway, so their job is to get this T-virus from this asshole guy named Morpheus. Not Morpheus from the Matrix. This Morpheus guy is pretty much as feminine as Alfred Ashford from Code Veronica. But this guy takes it to a max. Instead of dressing as a girl, he wants to be a girl, so he gets plastic surgery where he gets tits, he gets white hair, he even talks like this sometimes. Well, he talks like that when he transforms into a tyrant later. But anyway, so this guy was an researcher for Umbrella, but when the Archelon Mansion shit happened, he was pretty much the scapegoat. They were all like, hey man, you kind of fucked up with that mansion. He's like, wait, what? No, I thought that was a leech guy. Nope. But, you know, it is kind of funny because the leech guy in Resident Evil 0 looks a lot like him. So, I guess, instead of, like, you could put that as a subplot where it's just them saying, hey, you look like the leech guy, so you're fucking off Umbrella. So anyway, he gets pissed off, and he attacks a Paris Umbrella research. I think it was close to the same one that Claire attacked in the beginning of Code Veronica. Anyway, steals the T and G virus, and he steals this prototype, which is the TG virus. What a very original name, which is a mixture, if you haven't guessed, between the two. And this thing's supposed to be the ultimate thing, because it balances them both out, where you won't turn into William Birkin, but you won't turn into the fucking Tyrant. So it's like a perfect mixture, and plus it's added with some electricity to make it more invincible. Let's just say invincible. So anyway, he steals that and he attacks a ship, unleashes the virus, and so yeah, it's up to these guys to stop him. This girl, she does it because her hometown, because China pretty much gave into his demands, and they're gonna give him the money. But to make sure he doesn't launch the nuke anyway, she's in to take him out. And so is he, but he's doing it because, you know, America, fuck yeah. And it's an okay story, but pretty generic, and there's no real twisted turns. Like, the only, like, good twist is the fact that Morpheus, like, in the first beginning gets, like, really fucked up and wounded, so he injects himself with the TG virus and he becomes a mutant. But this Tyrant is very interesting because, unlike, you know, the previous Tyrants, he still retains his senses, so he could talk shit, you know, and do a lot of stuff. But, you know, that's all cool and that, but the fact that, you know, he's very feminine kind of ruins it, because, you know, this Tyrant has tits, it has high heels, I'm not fucking kidding, it has high heels, and it does spin kicks and shit. I mean, it's a cool concept, but I just think they didn't, perform it well with the whole him being feminine and stuff. I have nothing wrong with transgenders. I mean, okay, I'm gonna bring up my shit with that, but like, really, I didn't think it like had any place in this game. But anyway, let's stop talking about characters and story. Let's talk about the gameplay. Now, the gameplay isn't like Resident Evil Survivor, where it's full first person. It's actually more like Resident Evil 4, where it's third person. Let me see if it doesn't show you, but like, this is kind of the gameplay where like you're walking around like in third person with the camera behind him. But when you want to shoot, it zooms into, like, you know, first person mode. And I really found this really, like, clingy, very weird to play with, because, like, the control scheme, you know, the aim the gun and stuff was really awkward. And by the time you finally figured out a zombie's on you, and it's just really awkward, because, like, the right analog stick aims, like, the little trigger thing, and, like, the left analog stick moves the gun left and right, which was odd. But this says here that it's GunCon supported, and I remember the GunCon. It was actually like a controller gun, and I think the game was pretty much made for the GunCon, so if you played it with GunCon, it might have been more easier. So I really have no, like, right to judge the game on playing it with controller, because I don't have a GunCon, because that shit is fucking obsolete. Where can you get a fucking GunCon? Anyway, so that the gameplay is okay. It's just, like, really clunky. That's what I was trying to find earlier. And let's move on to something I really liked about the game, were the graphics. The graphics were beautiful, like some of the most beautiful FMVs I've ever seen. Like, the stuff was like beautiful HD, the characters look all sparkly and shit. It was really cool, and the gameplay graphics aren't that bad either. And that I always thought that was one of the problems with the Resident Evil games. Like, they'll have beautiful FMVs, but the gameplay graphics, you know, still looks like an ass face. I mean, that changed after they moved to the PS2, but still. But the problem with the graphics and this also mixes with the characters, is that when they animate, like, these characters, the voices really don't match, because they got really crummy voice actors. I really don't, like, they seem very lifeless, like, what do you mean he's attacking Nukes? I mean, it's not that bad, but it's, like, really not that much personality. Which was really odd. And, one of my other biggest gripes about the game is that it's really, really short. I mean, this took me about 2 hours to finish, like, tops, and that's mostly because I kept on dying on the last boss, because there's this, like, fucking trick where anyway, whatever. If you played the game, you know, because he does this little, like, horse jump at you, and you're like, oh, shit! So, that was really difficult, but I think that's the reason. So I'm pretty sure, like, the average gamer, like, the guy who's, like, been fucking playing this ever since he was fucking born, could beat this game in that, like, an hour and a half, probably. Like, tops. And really, with the way Resident Evil games, they're supposed to be long. They're supposed to be, like, this long, eccentric, like, awesome game about, you know, puzzle solving and, you know, shooting zombies. But really, you'll find yourself, like, running past the zombies, and this game has 0 to no puzzles. I mean, the puzzles you'll get is, like, press this button, come back, press another button, and then press another button. What the fuck? That's, like, there's not even, like, in Resident Evil 2 where you have to push statues. Nothing like that, which was very disappointing. So if they added maybe puzzles and more, like, like hordes of zombies where you have to shoot them instead of running away, I think it would have benefited the game. I mean, actually, more story would help, because the story is short as fuck. I went on YouTube and I typed in, like, cutscenes for the game, and there's a total of 25 minutes. Now, if you go to cutscenes for Resident Evil 6 or 4, it's at least, like, 2 hours to 6 hours tops. And that's really sad that, like, you can't just fucking make a longer game. I mean, there is effort in this game, but I don't think they put it that much. Anyway, the last thing I'm going to talk, you know, so I can stop rambling, because my mouth is bad as fuck, because I haven't been drinking soda. I've been drinking this, like, muscle milk pudding shit, because, you know, to lose this fucking double chin. Okay, to TMI, but, the one last interesting thing is the soundtrack. The soundtrack sounds really 80s for some reason. Like, there's the opening FMV, like, it reminded me of the beginning of Snake Hour, or like a James Bond game, where it's, like, you know, really slow, and it's like the title sequence, and it's just like do 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 do. Not literally like that, but it sounds like really computery and shit. And it just was like, whoa, what the fuck is this, a Resident Evil game? And like the save room. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't bring the save room theme up, but it's really, like, weird and slow, like new. I was just like, whoa. And every time you enter a new room, it's like down. And the weirdest thing is that at the credits, there's, like, this fucking Limp Bizkit, like, rip-off song where it's like, oh my gosh! I can't sing, but, you know, it's some, like, you know, rock rap where it's like, yeah. And it just really didn't fit at all. But then again, they had that in Resident Evil 2 where, like, if you get, like, the first ending, it's like, and this really beautiful song, but, like, if you get the second ending, which is, like, if you beat, like, the B storyline, it goes, so, like, that's to be expected. But anyway, I've been rambling a lot, but I think I could have summed this up in, like, an hour ago by saying, this is an average game, but it's really, there's not much to it. Like, I really honestly cannot recommend this. If you are a Resident Evil fan, I say pick it up, because, you know, if you want to be like me and beat every fucking Resident Evil game from your childhood, do this. But I would recommend Resident Evil Survivor more, because, you know, it's more cheesy and fun to play, and this really kind of feels a little lifeless. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, and if you want to see more videos like this, let me know, comment-wise, or inbox me, I don't care. Either way, I'm going to make more reviews, because I don't have anything left. Okay, anyway.